Hello. Um, so, this is the very messy kitchen that I'm not going to show most of to you because it's too messy. But, it's very messy right now, so that, you know. So anyways, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a quesadilla because my mom taught me how to do this, and because cooking is way more fascinating a concept to me than it probably should be, because I'm not very used to cooking at all. Right then, so we have the pan on the stove and it's heated up and it's got canola oil in it, like specifically canola oil, like in this case is what I'm using. So just letting you know that. And basically, first you need to, of course, make the tortilla. And that right there, that's actually pretty much it. Now, you have to flip it or else it'll burn on one side, obviously. But you want to wait a while because it won't actually really do much of anything for like an entire minute. Just about. And so, it's going to kind of sit there. And if it's not very flat, then you might want to stay with it for a sec and use your spatula to flatten the edges of it. I like to make mine as flat as I can, even though they usually come out rounder than I like them anyways. And so, as you can see, I'm sort of just waiting for it to heat up at the moment. And in the meantime, I already have my other basic ingredients out, beans and cheese and whatnot. And I have this plate here prepared to place the tortillas on once they are finished cooking, so as not to damage anything else. It's basically just a plate with a paper towel on, is all that is. One moment. This thing's hard to open. So, however many tortillas you want to cook, you want to set aside and get ready to make sure that you don't waste oil or something in between your tortillas. Also make sure you're using the right spatula. Here we are. Sorry if this video turns out a little messed up. I can't really see much of what's on the camera screen at the moment, because I don't have a filmer that's not going to talk mid-speech. So I have to keep this in my own hand this whole time. So this is starting to get hard. It's been on one side for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it. As you can see, it's gone nice and brown. And it's got lots of spots from concentrations of oil, which is why I like to rub it around to try and get less of those spots, so there's less concentration. But it doesn't really actually matter that much. I just think it's ugly. Oh yeah, another good thing, you should probably have 2 plates set out beforehand, or maybe even 3. It depends on how many of these quesadillas you're making. You want enough plates to be able to set down the finished cooking tortillas and to be able to prepare the quesadillas and to be able to serve them, so it takes up a lot of plates. Especially if you're cooking for more than one person, which I am right now. I'm making 2 quesadillas. That's alright. In a minute or so, this one will be just about ready. As you can see, it's gotten nice and hard. It's staying flat most of the way, even if I pick it up with my spatula like this, which is really hard to do. because it refuses to pick up once it's flat. But yeah, as you can see, it's staying mostly flat. Just needs a little more cooking. No, I don't need any more. Oh crap. I better move this off. I have another pan here for the second part of it, but I forgot it was heating up. I'll move it for a bit so it doesn't overheat. Right, so that is about finished now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So it'll cook for a little while on its own, harden out a little bit more. And then you go ahead and toss on the next one. Now while it's doing that, I already have another one over here, most of the way prepared. And as you can see, this is the worst beaning anyone has ever given any quesadilla ever. But that's okay because it spreads out when you cook it, and it's already pretty spread out on its own. And wow, you're not going to be worrying much about the inside of quesadilla once it's finished. So, you stack it beforehand. Sometimes the quesadilla is a little cracked, and that's annoying, but you know, it's something that you can get by. Just try and keep it in as small a space as possible, and as round as possible. And you go ahead and just get it into your pan like that. Now, I'm going to take the spatula with me just in case. When you're making the full actual, or when you're heating up the ingredients inside the quesadilla, you're probably going to not have to flip it, because you're heating up what's inside of it and not the actual tortilla. And so that's already on. And so, you want to, oops. As I said before, it came out a little cracked right here, but that's okay. That just means I'll have to be more careful taking it out of the pan and all that so it doesn't break up too much. I want to make sure it's nice and flat. And as you can see, some of the cheese is already starting to melt, but the inside of it won't start melting for a good long time. So that's about as much time as I have for this video. You pretty much know when this is finished because the cheese will be totally melted on the inside, and that'll be good and fine. So that's about it. That's how you make a quesadilla. And just, you know, repeat the tortilla making process until you have them all ready, and grate your cheese and get your beans and just kind of slap them on there, and then just toss it back onto the stove and wait for a couple of minutes while it melts the cheese and heats up the beans. And that's about it.